When it's bread and milk and you can't get a 3-litre milk and you cannot get bread under $10 anymore, those people who are really doing it tough, to actually give them a little bit more money to put towards their bills, I just do not believe that that's going to push things up. I seriously don't, because quite frankly, you're not going out there buying luxury items, you're trying to pay your bloody electricity bill, and that's the truth of it. And if that's pushing up inflation, I think that's rubbish. If you are living by the bare bones of your body, seriously, to give you a little bit more money to put more bread and milk on your table, or to pay that bill instead of not paying that electricity bill 12 months later because you're on that list that keeps paying and that keeps building up, I just don't. There's too many poor people out there, and to give them a little bit of extra money is not the problem.
The government keeps spending. It's spent an additional $315 billion since coming into office. And of course, that means it's like having one foot on the brake and one foot on the accelerator. And that's why it's taking so long to get inflation under control. But we must get inflation under control, because that eats away at your savings, it erodes your purchasing power, and it reduces your standard of living. We don't think that they're using all of their powers to do that.
So who's responsible? Too much government spending? Is that why we have inflation in Australia?
No. And let me look at it at a global perspective. Yeah. You know, every country around the world is having inflation. And that gives you a perspective that something else is driving inflation. I don't know if you heard about the Russia invasion of Ukraine.
Yeah, of course.
I'm across it.
So that drove up oil prices. Do you remember the pandemic? It was a little while ago. And that caused a lot of supply shortages. We had created a market economy that was not resilient, that, just-in-time production was wonderful when everything was wonderful, but it was not designed for even a small perturbation. We have an economy where there's an awful lot of market power, and there's a lot more market power now than there was 25 years ago. Neoliberalism has given full rein to the growth of market power in Australia, and that market power meant that the companies took advantage of the situation where competition was reduced because supply chains were broken, competition was weaker. You look at the timing, you look at where the inflation is, what goods prices went up. It's unambiguous. There is no doubt that it is not caused by aggregate demand. We actually can see how that government spending in the pandemic protected people. That when we gave that money out, we could see the day after that money check arrived, people went out and bought food, and they bought the things that they needed. It wasn't luxuries. So we know how much that spending, it wasn't perfectly designed, but the pandemic didn't tell us, 6 months notice, figure out what to do. It came, and we had to react quickly, and we reacted pretty well on average.